Chapter 22, Helter Skelter. The Mouse King slipped the key into the lock. It fitted just right, but would a candy cane key be able to open the door? He gave it a twist. Clunk, click, it worked! Relief washed over Clara as the door swung open and out leapt the Sugar Plum Fairy. His candy floss hair was looking a bit dishevelled, but he was thrilled to see Walter. He gave him a big hug. "Thank goodness, you saved me. I thought I'd be locked in there forever," he said. "Now, what's happening? What's all this kerfuffle about?" At supersonic speed, Clara, Walter and Queen Victoria Sponge filled him in on the night's events. "Mouse magic," he explained. "And frozen time. Goodness gracious gumdrops, what an adventure. We must put this all right. Come on." He led them at speed to the floor below to retrieve his lollipop wand. The Mouse King handed it over sheepishly. I'm sorry about locking you up," he squeaked. "Shenanigans and all that, you know." The Sugar Plum Fairy waved the apology away. "Don't worry about it," he said. "We've got more important things to deal with right now. Where's Fritz?" "In the main square," said Clara. "Come on, everyone." But as she started down the stairs, she noticed that the thick, treacly, time-stopped air was quivering. The entire palace echoed with a very loud, very worrying creaking sound. The floor trembled and the candy canes rattled on the walls. "What's happening?" exclaimed Queen Victoria Sponge. "I think it's trying to unfreeze itself," shouted Clara over the noise. The thick, syrupy feeling in the air instantly disappeared, and there was a rushing of wind as time raced to catch up with itself. Outside the window, the ice that had formed over the clock turned to sherbety powder, which rained down on the palace square. Brenda's frost feather popped out of the marshmallow clock face and fluttered away in the wind. "Oh no!" cried Clara. The thought of having to run down all the palace steps made her wobbly with anxiety. They'd never make it to Fritz in time. Who knows, his final whisker might already have formed. The Sugar Plum Fairy stepped forward. He waved his lollipop wand and touched it lightly on the very top step. There was a puff of smoke and a tinkling noise, followed by a clattering sound, as all the stairs collapsed to form a single slide, twisting right from the top turret down to the ground floor like a helter-skelter. "To the palace square!" cried the Sugar Plum Fairy, and without waiting for anyone else, he leapt, bottom first, onto the slide and whizzed downstairs. Clara followed, then Walter. The Mouse King went next, with Victoria Sponge bringing up the rear. They whooshed along at a terrifying speed, too fast even to stop at the bottom of the staircase. Instead, they all bumped along across the floor of the Great Hall and shot through the palace doors before skidding to a halt. Thump, bump, into the box of rocket drops. They leapt to their feet. "Fritz is over there," cried Clara, gesturing to where Fritz and their friends were all pacing back and forth around a collection of gold chocolate coins. They raced over to him. "Quick, Clara," he squeaked. "Look!" and he pointed to his cheek. Sparks of glittering magic were fizzing like fireflies around his face. To Clara's horror, she saw that the very final mouse whisker started to appear. "Oh, please, please fix Fritz," exclaimed Clara, grabbing the Sugar Plum Fairy's arm. "Don't worry," said the Sugar Plum Fairy. "I'm here now. Everyone stand back." They did so, shuffling away in a ring around Fritz, giving the Sugar Plum Fairy plenty of room. He stepped forward and held his lollipop wand aloft. He whipped it around and around in wide looping circles, and as he did so, bright sparks appeared in the air. They spun all around him, faster and faster, flashing as brightly as fireworks exploding in the night sky. Pink Parma Violet scented mist wafted from the end of the wand, plumbing so thickly that for a few moments Fritz and the Sugar Plum Fairy disappeared within it. Standing beside Walter, Clara hopped anxiously from foot to foot. Would this magic work? Would Fritz be saved? There was a sudden bright flash and a pop. The smoke vanished instantly, and twinkling above Fritz was a small red and white striped sweet. The Sugar Plum Fairy plucked it from the air and handed it to Fritz. "You need to eat this," he said kindly. Nervously, Fritz reached out a paw, took the magic sweet and popped it in his mouth. Then he started to chew.